All right, it says we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. We're having another guest, another author of The Inside the Inner Circle, another best-selling author of The Inside the Inner Circle, co-authored with Russell Brunson, which is like, kind of a big deal if you're into the marketing, entrepreneurial, New York Times bestseller thing. But today we have Mark Stern, who is just a genius. And, a funny thing that we found out was he went to Duke. I believe you got a master's, which I learned in your book, in your chapter in the Inside the Inner Circle book. And I am one of the biggest North Carolina Tar Heel fans you'll ever meet.
Oh, God.
And so that's like, here we go live. Now we're talking about it. North Carolina didn't even make the dance. And Duke's peaking. So kudos to your Blue Devils and your new head coach. So tip of the cap to you for that. But
Thank you.
yeah, well, welcome to our little summit, which actually you reached out to me a few months back and said, Justin, maybe we should do a summit. I was like, that's a really good idea, because we did model the book after the 30days.com book Russell did, where he said, if you lost everything, how would you build it up in 30 days? And he had, hello there. And he had everybody write something. And then that's how we did it. So now we're doing Inside the Inner Circle, and we're doing the exact same thing here. And I want Mark to tell his story, incredible story, and then we'll ask some more questions, and let's hear it, man. Take it away.
Justin, I was just going to say, like, writing the chapter for this, to me, was probably one of the most humbling experiences. But I think that for anyone who's listening or anyone who gets this book, I think that one of the themes that you see again and again is how quickly things can change. And Justin, I think for me, that was like writing it and seeing like the timeline of events that happened. There's a lot of little things that happened, over the last decade, but like a lot of this manifested in less than the last 5 years, specifically the last 2 or 3 years. So that's kind of what's cool, is this journey of entrepreneurship. I had a mentor that used to say, the name of the game is to stay in the game until you win the game. And until you start to go through the experience and see, I see Turner, hello, until you like really start to play the game. I think that like that to me resonated in a weird way, that was like constantly trying to figure out what the thing was. So origin story, I'm Mark Stern. I run the Custom Box agency. We're in the business of customer experience. Our vehicle of choice is direct mail. So we love to create these custom box or custom mailer experiences, and we can show you how to use direct mail to not only acquire customers, but also to deliver a better onboarding experience all the way down to extending lifetime value. So we're very intentional with what we create. We joke and say, we're not in the business of a swag box. We say that swag is stuff without a goal, swag. I want intention. I want to simplify our customers' transformation. And so, for us, we are very much on that strategy side of business, but our vehicle is boxes. This was a business that was never meant to be the business. I think this is one of the most beautiful things about entrepreneurship, is that when I started to play this game, I actually first started out when I left corporate America. I was a guy who was like as deep as you can get in corporate America. And when I ultimately had that calling, that was like, there's something more out there, and making that pivot in 2018, I started in the virtual event space. So doing things like this, where you can interview other influencers, and really start to get to know people in a little bit more intimate way, and then create products and services off of that. But I kept on doing that. And when we did these virtual events, what I didn't like about them is they were so digital heavy that it was missing the kinesthetic, the tangible piece to it. And so we started to do these virtual events, and we started to link. At first, it was a publication called Entrepreneur Elements. And then eventually it was a whole box experience. But the whole idea behind how this got started was, if you're listening to this content, how can I send you something in the mail that can help you get quick wins based on some of the concepts that were being discussed? And what I didn't anticipate was, as we started to build these box experiences, we started getting all this ridiculous amount of organic traffic. So I hosted a virtual event that had 12 speakers. We put their face on the box. We brought them to life in the box. And all of a sudden, we had over 90% of our speakers promoting the box and the whole box experience because it was such a new opportunity for them. And as people started getting these boxes, they started doing unboxing videos, and other people were asking like, where are you getting these boxes? So all of a sudden the purchasers or the consumers also became these agents starting to get louder in promoting our products and services. And it just kind of shed this light on there's something to marrying a digital experience with something physical to really accelerate that transformation or accelerate the ability to get quick wins. And then all these organic things were happening around it that made me go deeper and deeper and deeper. And all of this came to a head at the beginning of COVID, because at the time I was growing this business in boxes and growing this business in virtual events, which are both very relevant when you go through a pandemic and you're quarantined at home. And the one change that changed it all for me was my mentor at the time, Bart Miller, and he's still my mentor. Bart came to me and he was like, hey, Mark, I asked a couple of people, who are you? And he's like, half the people said you're the box guy and the other half say you're the virtual event guy. So you're 50% box guy, 50% virtual event guy. Which one are you? Because you're confusing the market. And that one conversation was a critical point for me, going from, I think we were like a couple 6 figures for the business across these two businesses to switching the lens and going 100% on boxes. And to me, it was just this untouched territory with so much opportunity for disruption and reimagination. And the one decision to go 100% on one thing is what changed everything for us. And you could literally map our journey from 0 to 2 in less than a year as a result of that one strategic decision of just focusing on being known for one thing, not known for a lot of different things. So, that started this whole entire journey, and it's just spun from there. It's been insane.
I love it, brother. I love it. So tell me this, when you were writing your chapter, have you ever published a book before, or have you ever wrote a book before?
I have.
Okay.
It is, for me, like one of those things that it's amazing, but I am so visual. I'm like, PowerPoint is my love language. You really have to challenge me to get text out of me in this capacity, but I love it. I love where it ended.
Yeah. Well, and what were maybe the key takeaways so people can go run and hear everything else? What are some of the nuggets that you learned along the way that people could, obviously it's a huge nugget that you just dropped, which is stay focused. People need to know what you do. I know Russell, our mentor, talks a lot about that when he was showing up at these speaking engagements, he'd be like, well, I could do social media and I can do SEO and I can do presentations and I can do that. But it wasn't until he became the funnel guy that's when his life changed forever and business expanded. So, that's a huge one. I know, if you have your feet in 2 boats, the chances are you're going to end up in the ocean. So I really do love that. Any other pearls of wisdom?
Yeah, dude, I have so many. And I pulled open the book because I literally listed like 10 different things that were like some of my biggest takeaways. But when I just put just the idea of focus is so important. But like one of my inherent beliefs, and this is kind of why I like focusing on, not for me, it was like not being the virtual event guy and the custom box guy, just being known for one thing. I have this belief that other people, I have a natural inclination to want other people to win. And so, one of my beliefs is not only do I want other people to win, but I believe other people want me to win. And so part of that, because part of that ability to help other people win is them being very clear on what it is that they offer. And so I think that that was a big takeaway and a big game changer, is that when I went all in on boxes, if anyone ever asked who does boxes, the community would propel me in a way because they knew how to say, they knew how to navigate people to me because my focus was so simple for them to articulate. When people do so many different things, that you kind of do Facebook ads and you kind of do YouTube and you kind of do this, it makes it so hard for other people to recommend you. So that one little switch was the game changer. What it's not saying is that, Russell is known as the king of funnels, the funnel guy. But the reality is he leads with that. He's known for that. He can support in so many different regards. And that's important to note. So we can support you with your build out, but we can support so much more. But that's what we lead with. And that element of leading with it just makes it so much easier for other people to communicate what it is you do and help you grow and win. So I don't think I realized the impact of that until I started replaying the story and started to see, what were the things that really propelled us. And it was a lot of times was just focus and just simplicity for other people to help you win.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell me this, what are some of the things that you can like directly attribute to joining the inner circle and it having changes? I mean, obviously the network of people, the ideas that we have, and truly, and maybe even if you want to go down this road, maybe even explain what a mastermind is. I mean, some people might have a concept of it, but when you're in such an incredible mastermind, and that's how you and I met inside the inner circle. Go buy the book. I'll leave the mic to you, brother. Like, what does the mastermind mean to you, and how has it changed your business?
Yeah, so mastermind for me, and it's interesting because there's two parts of this. The first part I'll say is when you start this game as an entrepreneur, there's no shortage of people who are going to tell you what you need to do. So one of the things you have to learn is put up blockers and get clarity on what it is that you're looking for. So if you don't know what you're looking for, a lot of other people are going to pull you in different directions, telling you how to run your business. And I feel like a lot of people, what they forget is you know what you need to do. It's just a matter of if you have the systems or the process or the tools or the team structure. And so for me, what a mastermind really is it's finding a like-minded group of people or a community that all have a similar objective to grow their business or grow their movement or grow their mission. And with the mastermind, I think it's also really important that you have a group of people that their business is at a certain stage or a certain level or a certain revenue range that is comparable to yours. Because what you'll find is a lot of the struggles or the ahas that you have are very common to people who are at a similar level as you. So for Inner Circle, Russell does an incredible job activating an amazing group of people. But it's Inner Circle, when I joined, was 100 businesses. They all had a minimum of having generated at least 7 figures. And I say that's an important mark of the rest of the community being where you are, because the journey of growing a business, not only is it about this process and the systems and who your avatar is and your value prop, but it's also about the mental journey that you go through. And, someone who has a business that is at a very different level than yours, so they may be just getting started and they're at that 0 to 250K revenue range, the mindset and how they think about it, they're in a very different space. And the conversations that you need to be having are very different than those who may be beyond the 7-figure mark or generating 7 figures minimum per year. So in a mastermind, what's great is it's this amazing group of people that have a business at a similar stage as you, but you all get to grow together and you're truly watching everyone grow together. And I'll even say within Russell's world, and this is kind of why I love the topic being inside the inner circle, I started the journey in 2 Comma Club when it launched in 2018. And so Justin in that group, it was like Eric Thane was part of that group. Lauren Golden was part of that group. Lindsay Mustaine, Steve Werner, Fabio was part of it. Franco was part of it. There's just so many people in this. Stephanie Dove Blake. All of us were part of that mastermind, that program when it launched in 2018. And so now to see a lot of these people ascend and grow into Inner Circle and having a business that has now crossed that 7-figure threshold, that's the power of a really cool mastermind, is everyone is growing together and you're seeing the business grow together. So that's, for me, one of the highlights. I get so excited when I see Stephanie Dove Blake on stage. I get so excited when I see Eric Thane, because I remember when we all started this game at a very different stage. And, you can see that growth with that amazing community and support as well. So,
yeah. And I would echo that as well. The sentiment, and I forget who told me this, but it's a really good one. Might've been Hormozy, who was another Inner Circle from the original 1.0. I think it was, or it could have been Myron Golden, who was also in 1.0 and 2.0 as far as Inner Circle goes. But the point is they said, not only find a mentor that has done it, which is obviously the fastest way to shortcut, is find someone who's done what you want to do.
Yeah.
But the kicker is find someone who has done what you want to do, whether it's hit 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures in a particular industry or in a particular vertical, but find someone who's done what you want and has taught others to do it. And that's the rarefied air that Russell really is in.
Yeah.
and then obviously he's such an incredible person and character and integrity and good heart that has created this community. But I think that's really important for people to when you are choosing that mentor, like you said, find someone that's not only done what you want, but has helped others get there. And that's hard to find.
It's interesting. It's weird that this is what's coming to mind, but it makes me think of like personal trainers. Like, do you want to work with a personal trainer that's obese and out of shape and doesn't represent the body aesthetic and type that you want? Or do you want to work with someone who has had the results, has the body structure that you want, knows the process to go through it, has coached other people through it? And for me, that was like an aha I had from the Tony Robbins world. It was like, why am I working with the out of shape personal trainer when I should be working with someone that has already demonstrated an understanding and a know-how of what you need to go through to be in that peak performance state. Yep. So it's no different.
Yeah. And I love Tony and Tony's world too. But I had a similar kind of like when I did get to the bottom of the rabbit hole with Tony, and I met Russell through Tony when they did the mastermind launch with Dean Graziosi. But like Tony's business mastery, which, you know, if you want, do it, and Firewalk UPW and all that stuff, it's great. But another thing with Russell that he teaches us, and a lot of it is now in the linchpin continuity model, is I've never met anybody who does great frameworks, simple frameworks, talks to you like a third grader, that it's real simple, and follow these steps. And that's what he'll go down in the annals of time. And if Russell's a part of the book too, he actually has the introductions. And have you seen that? Because I know you help a lot of businesses in a lot of different areas or different growth cycles and things like that. Do you help kind of give them like step 1, step 2, and like, or the success path that we know about?
Yeah. When I say that is like, you're getting to my playground with that, because for us, when it comes to custom boxes, we're not a swag box. Swag box, you can call someone and go, you know, I want a hat, I want a t-shirt. For us, we're like, stop with the swag. There's a way that you can position it that makes sense, but like what people want is a clear pathway to follow. So anytime we work with the client, the experiences that we need to build out, and a lot of times clients have a loose customer experience, we can help you refine that and get it to, like, for me, it's got to be really simple. But this is why I like to show from the get-go a path from, we say it's from start here to the desired outcome. And then what are the steps that need to happen to take you from an onboarding phase all the way to getting that quick win. So that whole customer journey, that success path, we call it a journey map, is such a critical staple. And it's amazing how many entrepreneurs or business owners do not have a clear pathway for their people to follow. It's kind of like you just kind of throw them in the deep end and say, go. And oftentimes what you see is overwhelm, people feeling like they're a failure. We don't want our customers to feel like a failure. I think that the reality is that there's certain things in life that we want to be a driver. If it's a custom box experience, you know, I can help be your guide through that process. But if it's something else, like I just want someone to tell me what I need to do. Like, I don't want to figure out Facebook ads. Just tell me what I need to do and I will do whatever you say. And I think people forget that, like, we play both roles. And so this is kind of why it's like the best thing you can do for your customer is give them a simple path to follow, that it's almost like a checklist to help get that outcome. So.
Absolutely. Well, I know we got to wrap, and I'm so
Awesome.
of your time, brother. But any final nuggets or final words, and where can people find you if they want to learn more about helping take their customer on a real journey? And I can't recommend you enough. You've helped us and helped so many people. What you do is brilliant. And I'm glad you're just not retired somewhere on an island, that you're still doing it. Sometimes like you get a chance to work with someone who's a genius who knows what they're doing and they're still working. So how can people reach out to you, Mark, and any final words?
Yeah. The final word, I'll say this. No, and thank you for that, by the way. And you know, I adore you. So it's like the thing I got to say, and Justin, I'm sure you can echo this as well, is this game is not meant to be played by yourself. If you are the type of person that, you know, you want to lock yourself in a room and create products and services and whatnot, like, your product and service is only going to be as good as what's between your two ears. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with, whether it's members of the Inner Circle, Justin, casual encounters, that someone else said something and it was like someone took a key and unlocked like a new way to approach something. So especially if you see those cues that you're like, why am I not getting this done? Why am I like stuck and not advancing this forward, and you feel that pressure, I usually say it's because like literally there's something that's there that I don't see yet, and I just need someone to unlock it. And it's other people who hold the keys to that. So this is why, whether you do podcasts, join communities, be part of masterminds, get out of your own head, because when you start to create your products with other people, they get to be so much better. So that's like the last tidbit, is that this is not a game you should play by yourself. Find a community of people and talk, like tell people what you're doing. So yeah. And then for us, you can find me in many ways. Find me on Facebook. You can go to customboxagency.com. We have a Facebook group called Custom Box Central. Lots of different places. Hit me up on Messenger. I'm pretty easy in that sense.
Love it, brother. Well, thanks for swinging by, and make sure you bring the sunscreen, because I'll be seeing you in a couple weeks down there in Mexico at Xcaret. And it should be a blast. We'll have to do another lazy river swim. And,
dude, you know it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Congratulations on all your success. Thanks for being part of the Inner Circle book. And if you're listening right now, go buy the book before it goes up to $250. All right, everybody. Thanks for swinging by, and thanks again, Mark, for swinging by.
Take care.
All right,
bye, everyone.
Thank you. Talk soon.